Hello, it's Mark Elliott speaking. Hey, thanks for tuning in. This is just a little bit of a video to summarise some of the key findings from a recent study we did talking to the top performers in the red meat sector. Now, we spoke to these farmers in 2014 and we've gone back to them again over the last few months just to get a sense of what they see as the main challenges that they're having to focus on right now, and to see if they've changed much from a few years ago, but also to understand what are the key parts that they do that allows them to achieve a high level of performance on average than other farmers. And so there's a lot of things they do, but the range of key challenges they saw coming down the gateway at them was this move towards more environmentally sustainable farming. And linked to that is carbon neutral, and that's strongly linked to what the markets are demanding. And so understanding evolving consumer taste was another challenge that they were trying to address. And these are all things they see as quite significant, especially over the next few years in the longer term. But the good news is that much of good farm management practices that these farmers are already doing go quite a long way to address what these major issues are. And so staying on the good news theme for the rest of us, it means these high performers are already laying down pathways that we can potentially follow right across the industry to make it easier for us to address some of these challenges that are going to keep coming at us over the next decade or so. But in terms of more specific kind of things they're doing around farm performance on the farm, once again, there's a lot of things these guys do. But if I was trying to bring it down to maybe the 3 or 4 key ones, I think one of the critical ones is they pay absolute attention to detail on their property. And that's right through the farm business. One key area is around finances. So they have a deep understanding of the cost of production. They know what it costs to do things, because what's more important to them is the margin. It's not the actual production. And so they focus on the profit. And so understanding your margins, understanding the cost, it gives you a much better idea of where to invest or not invest in your property. The second part to attention to details has been completely across both your pasture and stock condition at all times. So that means they're paying attention to that a lot, because that's where you make money. And they get that right more often than not by making sure they record what they see. And sometimes they use new technology to make that more efficient, and other times they simply just write it down in a diary, because you don't know what you don't know, and it's easy to forget. So having a record of that gives you a really good sense of how things are tracking. You get to see trends, you get to have a more intimate understanding of your farm operation and how it operates through varying seasons, and all that puts them into a situation to be proactive decision makers. And that's one of the critical things to getting things right, is that you understand, as soon as you get a hint of when pasture quality or animal condition is starting to go south, you get that hint before it starts to happen, and then you have a proactive plan in place to do something about it. And that's where it's critical that you get ready and you consistently execute that plan when it's needed. And it's often a fairly simple kind of a system or a plan, which makes it easier to execute, but it's just having it in place and doing it. So those are kind of 3 kind of key areas, I guess, those farmers are focusing on. But they also are surrounded by a farm team. Often it's they talk to well-regarded farmers and other rural professionals. This is to help to both test their own ideas and so they can find new ones. But that testing of ideas and conversations also happens a lot with on the farm team, which is often with a spouse or with parents or children or with workers. So they just sit around and have conversations to test their ideas. It's a little bit about what these farmers do. Plenty more where that comes from. Thank you.